Hello there, my beautiful Taurus signs. It's Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you. This is going to be for the sign of Taurus, whether that's your sun, moon, or rising sign, whatever placement that's in here for you. All are welcome. So thanks for being here. You do have a heavy reading this month. There's a lot of shifts happening, a lot of changes specifically tied to the Capricorn full moon that's happening on the 21st and the moon that's going into Leo on the 4th of August. And then there's another full moon in Aquarius on, I think, the 18th or the 19th of August as well. But there's a lot of shifts happening. And I feel like Spirit is pushing you, Taurus, towards your divine path, your divine creative soul's purpose, whatever that might be for you. For some of you, it's writing. For some of you, it's playing music. For some of you, it's creating a business or making art in some fashion or some form. Spirit really wants you to hold your vision, though. That's the first card that came out from my Moon Wisdom Oracle deck. And I feel like it's really important at this time to make sure you have your inner trajectory, your soul's path, your soul's purpose on your mind. And remember that that's why you're here. That is your complete destiny, essentially. And I saw 111 on the clock just a second ago, so I wanted to say that because I do feel like that's a synchronicity some of you might need to hear. Now, I pulled the Ankh, interestingly enough, out for you, Taurus. I am a Taurus moon, so I took this as a message for me as well. The Ankh is a symbol of, the Ankh represents the key to all hidden knowledge. The loop symbolizes the eternal soul as it has no beginning or no end. The Ankh is also symbolic of a toroidal field. If you don't know what a toroidal field is, make sure you look that up. We are all kind of active electromagnetic toroidal fields. And the Ankh is a great Egyptian representation of eternal life because there is no end, there is no beginning. We all, it's the Trinity in a way as well. It's the triquetra or the Triskelion. We all, live, die, and are reborn to help align to our soul's purpose, our soul's mission, and that's what the dark night of the soul is. So if you've been going through a dark night of the soul, it's basically like your death, your ego death. So then you can have a rebirth. So then you can move forward out of karma and into dharma to pursue whatever it is your soul is here to pursue, because this is all a big mind game. We are all conscious awareness. At the end of the day, when we die, our soul leaves our body and goes into different realms, and we are here to help each other elevate and vibrate higher and raise the collective energy. So if I've lost you there, sorry, but these are all scientifically proven things that I just said, which I know it doesn't sound like it, but it is, because when our bodies leave, when our soul leaves our bodies, 21 grams of our very essence, our very being just disappears into thin air. But it's not thin air, because our human bodies can only see 5% of the realm that surrounds us. So our eyes can only see a certain amount of baryonic matter, and that means we aren't able to see 95% of what's actually in front of us. Those are what I like to think of as different dimensions, and that's kind of where quantum physics and stuff like that comes into play, because there's a lot of things that we typically can't see. And then, if you have access to your mystical abilities, you can see a little bit more than most, but even then I feel like that's only like a really slight percentage more than most people. So anyways, I also saw 333 on the clock a second ago, or a couple minutes, 30 seconds ago, basically, when I was chatting. But I wanted to point that out because 333 usually symbolizes that you're being divinely guided, that there are spirit guides or angels or whatever you want to believe in surrounding you and helping you on your path. So the next card I have for the Oracle was from my Power of Love deck, and this is all about forgiveness. Now, for some of you, this is about forgiving yourself for past mistakes, for maybe things that you didn't do correctly, that you could have done better, or you will do better now. It's having the understanding that whatever came into your life, you weren't at a place maybe to handle it, and you have to find forgiveness. It says, now you are able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. So often when I struggle with finding forgiveness, it's usually when I struggle with finding understanding for a situation or for a person. I have this like innate desire to understand where someone's coming from. I'm a super empath, so I have the ability to put myself in someone else's shoes and to really feel what they were feeling, or to, come at them with sympathy and empathy, essentially, because it's a gift, but it's also a double-edged sword in ways, because sometimes people can be overly empathetic to the wrong people, and that can be manipulated, and you can be manipulated or used essentially by someone who knows if you're a very kind and loving person. And sometimes that does happen. So, when it comes to forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean, you're accepting of someone's ill treatment towards you or behavior. It just means that you have accepted that that person is not able to meet you on the same frequency that you're at right now. And that doesn't mean you have to stay together. It doesn't mean you have to be together. It doesn't mean you even have to be friends. And it just means that you're like, okay, I accept that this person did this, or didn't do this, and I can move past it, because I know that they may not be able to see things from my perspective, depending on the level of empathy that they're capable of giving, or the level of narcissism, basically, that's housed inside of them. And we all have narcissistic tendencies, and we all have empathetic tendencies, unless your frontal lobe is shrunk, and then you have typically, scientifically, no empathy, and that's very common with drug addicts and things of that nature. So keep that in mind as well. Now, the advice Spirit has for you is act. This is about your third eye, your intuition, your gut instinct. It says, is there a person in your life who presents as good and helpful but doesn't have your best interests at heart? What tells you that? Use your intuition to lead you towards stronger and healthier relationships. Now, if you're like me, which I'm assuming you are at least a little bit because you're watching this video, you might have a tendency to believe what people say. I've been very guilty of this in the past, where I believe wholeheartedly what anybody tells me, because I don't lie. I just don't really enjoy lies. I'm a Sagittarius, we're a fire sign, and I have a Taurus moon, so I'm a very fiery, loyal person. So when someone lies to me, I have a very hard time understanding that and forgiving that, because I don't come from a place of shame. If anything, I come from a place of oversharing, and that usually gets me into trouble. But then I'm like, well, it's me. I'm authentically me, so what do I care? And again, that's the fiery Sagittarius in me. You just don't give any F's, So now that I know better, and I have learned how to practice and implement discernment, I can really see people for who they are based on their actions and not what they're saying. So if you have a hard time with somebody in your life who makes it really appear to everyone else that they're very good, they're very kind, they're very helpful, and then maybe they're helpful to everybody else but you, that's typically a sign of a covert narcissist. And I don't like to throw out labels when I'm not a doctor. I can't medically diagnose anyone. But even then, there is no medical specific diagnosis for a covert narcissist. It's just a personality trait that has been established in that person since youth due to traumas. Okay, so narcissists aren't just evil people. I don't want to say that. Sure, are there people that are maybe not so nice? Absolutely. But narcissist traumas triggered their narcissism. Just like if you're an empathetic person, trauma's triggered your empathy. And it's basically two sides of the same coin. So, if you were a child raised in a traumatic environment, you either chose to never do that to anyone else again, and that's empathy. You never wanted to perpetuate that sort of pain you felt. Or you're a narcissist and you chose to perpetuate the pain. You chose to lie. You chose to shame people. You chose to be secretive or deceitful or manipulative or those sorts of things to get what you wanted. And it's basically two sides of the same coin is what I'm saying here. So if you are empathic, which you probably are because you're watching this video, it's because you probably tend to draw in a lot of narcissists because you haven't healed those childhood traumas, because you're still coming from a place of, I'll never do that to anybody, but then you kind of overcompensate for those things, and the narcissist overcompensates in a negative way for those things as well. So if you've been going through a struggle where you feel like someone's there and they say that they're going to be helpful and they say they're going to do all these things, but then, they never do it. It's the actions speak louder than words thing, Taurus. And you're a Taurus sign, so you're a very loving, caring, nurturing sign. You're very much so tapped into your feminine energy, but you can also be, you can be the bull with the horns if you need to be. And I do feel like at this point in time, Spirit is kind of asking you to use discernment here for the people in your life if they're maybe talking the talk but not walking the walk, is what I'm hearing here. So with that comes a fear that might populate, such as rejection. This is the chakra cards. This is tied to your crown chakra, which is symbolized by the gray on this card, but or white, whatever you want to think of it as. So it could be, a rejection when it comes to a family member, a relationship, or a creative thing that you're trying to pursue. Maybe you've been experiencing rejection, and I think that's a normal it's a normal thing to happen. We don't always get what we want the first time. Sometimes we have to try and try again, and that's what gets us out of old patterns and old mindsets. Essentially, that's what growth is. That's where growth is required. Now, for the archetype card, you have the Queen here, Taurus, and this is all about knowledge, power, wisdom, growth. There's a little golden pearl in the middle of this flower. You can't really see it, but there it goes. And then there's also like this gem next to the snake, and I feel like the snake is knowledge, and you're shedding some old skin here, and you're moving forward out of just things that aren't serving you. And with the flower here, it's like this could be the flower of life. This could just be like the golden opportunity that's bursting. Which could just be, it doesn't have to be a tangible opportunity. It could be a job. It could be something for your career path or whatever that's coming. It could be. But it could also just be like a golden opportunity for you to pursue your hopes, your dreams, your passions, to fulfill your own needs, to really see someone as they are, not as you want them to be, and to just have empathy for yourself, because I think, you had that forgiveness card, and it's releasing the past pain and getting wiser because of everything that happened. So like taking the little golden nugget of knowledge that you have and moving forward. And that is the snake that's shedding the skin. That is the wisest thing you can do in this situation. Now, I pulled 2 wisdom oracle cards for you, and these are very similar cards, and I like both of these cards because it's kind of telling me that you're a little bit stuck at this time, Taurus. You just feel trapped perhaps in a situation. And the never-ending story here with the hourglass is like, I feel like you've been having, and there's a heart trapped in the sand. It's just like you've been going through the same cycles when it comes to love or relationships or the people that you choose to be with. And it could even be friendships as well, because a lot of the times we are drawn to people who are like our family without even realizing it. It's like a subconscious thing, because it feels comfortable. It feels like home, because in some way, some shape, some form, it is like home. And that's what you're going through. It's this never-ending story. So you're kind of stuck in this karmic loop, and Spirit is saying time to let go. They're guiding you. They're giving you an opportunity here to get out of this mindset, to get out of this lifestyle. You might maybe feel like you have to reject certain people, and sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to close out close the door before you can open a window. And that's what's happening for you right now. So Spirit is giving you like the A-okay, like go ahead, hold your vision, hold your dreams up, let that lead you and let that guide you out of this the darkness that you've maybe been living in, and you didn't even realize it was so dark. So that's kind of what I'm feeling for you here. And just because I'm being drawn to the Ankh again. Just because you're not with somebody in this life doesn't mean that you won't be with somebody again in another life. And I know some of you are like, oh, I don't believe in past lives or future lives or whatever you want to call it. Okay. But you don't have to believe in it. But everything is infinite. Energy has no end. Energy transfers. There's a transference of energy, but energy never fades. It doesn't go away. It just shifts into something else. And we are energy. Scientifically proven. So I'm going to dive into the tarot here. I don't usually do reversals, but I did in this case because there was a couple that came out and it just kind of, it felt like the energy of what's happening. So in the past here, you have the Sun in reverse. The Sun upright is the happiest card in the deck. The Sun in reverse, not so happy. It's like you maybe were hopeful about a situation, and then like the cup spilled out all over the floor, and then you were like, oh, I really wanted to drink that, but now it's ruined, basically. And that's kind of what the Sun card means to me in this reading for you, Taurus, because I say that because you had the Seven of Cups in reverse. So all those cups spilled out. So it's like every option you thought you had for the future, for an opportunity, I feel like was shifted and broken because of some big choice in your life, because someone made a choice or because you made a choice, and it has changed the whole timeline for you. It's changed the whole narrative, everything you thought was going to happen, whatever dreams you had for the future. It's definitely shifting your whole lifestyle. But I do feel like if it was with a specific person, there is going to be an opportunity for all of the things you want to happen, but with someone else. And that can be heartbreaking. It can be devastating. It can be disappointing. And I feel like that's why the Sun is here in reverse, because it's like everything you had planned for is not coming to fruition and you don't understand why. So you're in this like Seven of Cups in reverse mode, which is you don't like any of the options you have. You had a lot of options. You thought you had a lot of choices, and now you realize like that's not where you're at the moment. So the future card you have is the Hermit. This is a major arcana card, as well as the Sun. That was a major moment for you. But this is all about going within, doing the shadow work, doing the inner work, doing the healing. This is knowing the difference between love, lust, limerence, and it's also discerning people from what they say versus what they do, and really listening to that and listening to your gut instincts that say, hey, this person isn't actually walking the walk. They talk a lot, but there's nothing actually tangible coming from this. And you might be at that place in your life where you need something tangible if you're gonna put yourself out there in a situation with someone else, whether it's a friendship or a lover or even a job. But Spirit is saying go within, and you're going to find out more about yourself than you ever knew just by the introspection that you're going to have to do to figure out why you were drawing in people that weren't helping you align to your highest best self. Maybe you were helping them, but they weren't helping you. So what you need and what love is reciprocity. And if there's no reciprocity, then that's limerence. That's not love. And sometimes that can be hard to discern when you're in the midst of it. It's like, we have the rose-colored lenses of love on our eyes, and we can't see somebody for what they are. We see them for what we want them to be. We see them for what they tell us they are. And that's not always very accurate or clear until you take a step back later. So the last card I have for you, Taurus, is the subconscious card. That's the underlying energy card. This is the Page of Pentacles. This is a new opportunity for you to start over. And some people don't like to hear this because it's like ominous feeling, but there's never an age or a time frame where it's too late to start over. It's like life is a constant journey of evolving, and we're always constantly learning something new. So whether you're 80, whether you're 20, whether you're 30, or 40, like it doesn't matter. This is a new opportunity to pursue your hopes, your dreams, your passions, to learn something new, to take up a new hobby, to study something, to maybe go back to school, to apply for the job you really want. Even if you're afraid of being rejected here, Taurus, who cares? What do you got to lose? That's the nice thing about hitting rock bottom sometimes. It's like, okay, what else do I got to do? So don't care what other people think, because they're not you. They've not walked in your shoes, Taurus. They don't know what it's like. They don't know how many years you spent trying to please someone else. They don't know what your childhood was like. They don't know anything about you. So don't let the fear of rejection hold you back, because there is a new opportunity subconsciously presenting itself for you. And I do see that if you're doing the shadow work, you're going to take this opportunity and you're going to run with it. And then, you're going to really lean into this future vision you have. And you're going to have faith, and you're going to have hope in this new opportunity to move and grow as a person, and hopefully draw in someone who is capable of true, genuine love that is reciprocal, that goes both ways, that is, coming from a state of equitable fairness, and someone who's also meeting you at the same vibrational level. Because a lot of the times when we go through breakups, or we quit a job or a career or whatever it is, it's because we no longer have anything else to learn from that place or that person. And it's like you've done all the growing you can do there. It's almost like a glass ceiling. Like you've reached the plateau, so now you got to go find something new that's going to stimulate you. And I feel like that's kind of the point that you're at here, Taurus, even though it seems like a very bittersweet place to be. It's just a part of life. It's just a part of growing. And I do feel like most Tauruses that I've ever known, and including myself, we can be very stubborn sometimes because we think it's our way or the highway. And in this case, it's kind of like you're being divinely guided and protected to move forward on this path. Sorry, my cat wants in. That's what that sound is. But there are good things coming your way, Taurus. So thank you for watching. If this video helped, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time.